most difficult part of living with this disease is the change in my quality of life. I've had to adjust temperature requirements, exercise. I have to take Hydrea, a chemo pill. I get dizzy. I've had double vision. My sleep is disturbed.
Not knowing what the future will be and not knowing when the symptoms will flare up, like itching, spleen enlargement, exhaustion, not able to do the things I used to do.
I was very healthy all my life. I was diagnosed with Polycythemia Vera in my 40s, actually. The most problematic thing is the chemo pills. I don't mind the phlebotomies, and right now I feel like my time allotted is close to the end, and it's scaring me.
Not knowing what my future will hold. My family doesn't know what's going to happen.
And concerned long-term about disease progression or shorter-term effects like clots or strokes. As a younger patient who was diagnosed at age 45, I have a long path on this, so it's a significant impact to my life.
I'm an athlete, and so the fatigue has also been just decimating.
Bone pain and the itching, but mainly the fatigue, and blurry vision, dizziness.
It's affected my day-to-day living activities. I find I get out of breath a lot easier, and all of a sudden I may be in a shop, and it's like somebody flips a switch.
Lightheadedness to follow for a few months, and it was discovered I had moderate to aggressive mini-strokes. It was a wake-up call for me.
Polycythemia Vera has unknowns to it, like what days I'll feel more nauseous than others. It affects my vision, and I experience fatigue, and not knowing on a daily basis which of the symptoms are going to creep up and be today's event.
I am now on anagrelide, and it's causing me to have cardiac symptoms. So finding a better drug would be the difference between life and death.
Hydroxyurea worked for 6 years, but now it has progressed to AML, so it has become very challenging today. We're looking for a stem cell transplant.
The biggest problem with my life right now is dealing with the open wounds that have been created by hydroxyurea.
The problems I'm having now is with strength. I'm having to get a B12 shot every time I go to the Cancer Institute. I'm always anemic, and the problems just seem to persist, but it seems to be getting worse, and there's no reason as to why.
The fact that I have to go once a month and travel over an hour and 15 minutes to get to a place to have my blood tested and possible phlebotomies has put a cramp in our lifestyle and our planning.
My exhaustion limits me to perhaps 2 hours a day of good energy.
I'm just afraid to get a full-time job because there's days I don't know if I can do it, and that's not my normal. I actually like being up and going.
I struggled with getting to class on time, getting assignments done during college courses.
Well, fatigue means that I can't work like I used to. No sex drive.
The most difficult part for me is the fear of the unknown. I guess not a whole lot being known about the disease at the time I was diagnosed. I had a 9-month-old little girl at the time, and so I didn't really know where my life was going to go. And it's a difficult thing to live with chronic pain, and you never know what to expect from doctor appointment to doctor appointment, and it's like you never can get a straight answer, and it's just scary. It's very scary. That's the hardest part for me. It's just the fear.
I'm concerned if I switch jobs to another company and progress in my disease, that I may not be able to work effectively like I can now. I have 3 children. My wife has gone back to work to ensure that we have medical coverage in case I progress.
I sort of look at each day as a gift, which we should all do anyhow. And if the disease changes the course of my life or my ability to do certain things, I guess so be it, as almost any disease could do that.
The diagnosis woke me up. It grounded me. I became more at peace. I learned about mindfulness. Now I am moving in a new direction, but I feel actually empowered and pretty terrific.
I remain optimistic that there will be a cure and that everyone, including maybe even me, won't have to deal with this forever.